Welcome to the Plato Paradigm, a paradigm shift in reading Plato's dialogues. Episode 243, Lysis 219c to d. Socrates had raised the problem last time that like isn't a friend of like, according to one of the earlier conclusions, and that already vitiated this argument, but he was prepared to overlook it. Now it seems that what he means by overlooking it is that a friend can now be friendly to a friend. Like can be a friend of like. Thus, the medical art can be a friend of health. Health is good and therefore friendly. Medical art is a friend, therefore the friend is a friend of a friend. Since Menexenus doesn't object, either he's brain dead or we are to assume that like is now allowed to be a friend of like. This allows the argument to be developed in an interesting direction, which hasn't been explored so far. E ara philon henekatu, nai. If then something friendly for the sake of something, yes, the something friendly here is health itself, and health is something friendly for the sake of the body, I presume. In the earlier argument, the medical art itself was friendly to the body, for the sake of the body, but now we've inserted health, which is really what the medical art involves. The medical art adds health to the body. It makes the body function well. In the previous argument, the medical art was intended to remove disease, something bad, and not replace it with something good, health. But now, medical art is replacing something bad, disease, with something good, health. We have to keep this clear. This is still an heuristic formulation. This is not strictly logical. We shouldn't be replacing one entity with another entity. It doesn't work like that. The medical art is really supposed to make the functioning of the body better. That is all. Philougetinos te e paracoluthes te prosthen homologia panuge. And that something is friendly or friend, if indeed it will follow the previous agreement. Absolutely. All Socrates has really done here is replace the term good with the term friendly. Anything good is friendly or a friend. It's not always clear whether we're talking about philos, a friend, or philon, something friendly, or even philos, someone friendly. Philos can be both a friend and friendly. This is why the neuter is quite useful, because philon must mean friendly, not a friend. Unless, of course, it's philos in the accusative, in which case it could be a friend as an object. Anyway, instead of saying something is good for something good for something good, he's now saying something is friendly for something friendly for something friendly. So it's pretty clear we have, in fact, abandoned the conclusion that like cannot be a friend of like. The conclusion has been abandoned but not refuted. This doesn't say much because the original conclusion itself was heuristic. Uk un kai ekeno philon au estai heneke philu. Nai. So that too will be something friendly for the sake of something friendly. Yes. Menexenus seems to have lost track of what they're talking about. The something friendly, the last one we had, was the body. Health was something friendly for something friendly, and that would have been the body. And now Socrates apparently is saying that the body itself is friendly for some other something friendly, without specifying what. This is a new thing. The body hasn't been called friendly for anything or good for anything. It was neutral. It was neither good nor bad. And now suddenly it's a good thing if it is a friendly thing. Talking about friendly things without specifying which things Socrates is talking about has allowed him to replace the neutral body with the notion that the body can be good and that the body is good for something else good. Arun ukananke ante pen hemas hutosiontas afikesta epitine archen he uket epanoese ep allofilon al hexe pequeno hoestin proton filon huheneka kaita alla famen pantafila enai. Ananke. So then, isn't it necessary for us going in this way to take back what we're saying, to deny what we're saying, or to arrive at a first principle which no longer refers to any other thing friendly, but will go to that which is a first friendly thing, for the sake of which we claim that all the other things are friendly as well. It's necessary. Socrates has introduced the concept of the arche, which can mean the beginning, but in this case I've called it the first principle. It's first in importance, and it is the thing towards which all other things are aimed, which is why if this is a good thing, all other things which are geared towards this first principle are also good. And of course, good has been replaced by philon here, friendly. All of the things are friendly because they are all friendly towards the next thing in line. What is interesting is that all of these friendly things tend to be entities so far and not activities. It is not the activity of healing which is friendly, but the healing art itself, and health and body. And I don't think it's simply because it's hard to conceive of an activity being friendly. It's quite difficult for me to think of an art being friendly. The techne, even if it's the medical techne, isn't friendly as such. This argument raises the interesting point that it's difficult to call anything good or friendly without understanding the entire chain of benefit or friendliness. Where is all of this going? If the end goal is bad, we might have to conclude that all of the parts participating in this chain which leads to the goal are bad, if the goal is bad, or in terms of this dialogue, hostile, if the end is hostile. This would mean that even Menexenus, for example, cannot be determined to be a philos or an echthros, a friend or an enemy, until we know what he is friendly for or hostile for. This then raises another problem. What do we make of the notion of mutual friends? Menexenus is a friend for Lysis. Lysis is a friend for Menexenus. Are they good, friendly goals? Are they first principles? It looks quite circular. This friendship just goes round and round between Lysis and Menexenus. It doesn't seem to get anywhere. What exactly in the boys is friendly, and what exactly is the goal? Is it simply the other boy? As usual, the boys don't raise any objections, and Menexenus simply says, yes, it's necessary, and probably isn't thinking anything through. He's just humouring Socrates. The boys should have asked what the first thing is, what this first principle is, why it should be good or friendly, but they don't. And Socrates now sums up what they have said so far, possibly in the hope that they would now ask what this first principle is. Tuto de estin holego, me himas tal pantaha epomen ekenuhena kafila enai, hosper eidola atta onta autu exapata, dekenoto proton hos alethos estin philon. This is what I'm saying. In order that all the other things which we have said are friendly for the sake of that one, do not deceive us like some images of it. Let the first one be that which is really friendly. In other words, if all of the elements in the chain are to be friendly at all, the first one in the chain, the first principle, the thing for the sake of which all the other parts are friendly, that one has to be really friendly. Socrates hasn't yet explained what he means by really friendly. Is he talking about the Platonic ideas, the good, the friendly? We don't know. He hasn't said anything yet. And we really shouldn't jump ahead. We might imagine that he's just saying that the first principle really does have to be good. It has to be really good. It doesn't mean that it is the good. In fact, if we talked about the good, to agathon, the idea of the good, in some dialogues, the idea of the good is not even in this world. It has nothing to do with us. We couldn't be friends with the good. So far, it's good enough to understand that the first principle does have to be friendly. It has to be really friendly, because otherwise all of the elements leading up to this one will be mere images of friendly things and not really friendly things.